Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon to all. The steady growth of the satellite sector and space economy has long been consolidated. Satellite networks and services are alternative or complementary to terrestrial networks and services and benefit from the technological developments in the terrestrial networks. From a historically niche offer due to limited capacity and high cost to a new scenario of capacity and competitive cost with a paradigm never experienced before. Current development trends focus on multi-orbit, multi-band, in-flight flexible payloads, radio frequency, intermediate frequency over IP, radio frequency, microwave to laser for inter-satellite links and up-down links, 5G non-terrestrial network. The current market value of the satellite sector is about $400 million, including space launchers. And each segment, communication, Earth observation, navigation, is differentiated by space segment and ground segment services and infrastructures. There are currently more than 10,000 active satellites, 30 of which belong to the SpaceX constellation. Most of the active satellites are LEO, and the volume is in continuous growth. The present greatest activity in space is military. The main developments are currently focused on the production of micro, nano, picosatellites, GEO, MEO, LEO, multi-orbit, multi-band systems, and then network architectures evolution of LEO constellations, in-flight flexible payload for mission reconfiguration and updating, and CapEx, OpEx reduction and services expansion thanks to technological evolution, miniaturization, performance, reliability, convergence, interoperability. Multi-band, multi-orbit ground segment antennas for satellite Earth observation and satellite communication, which, with the aim of increasing the throughput, reception capacity in gigabit per second, and pointing accuracy to the satellite, integrate three bands thanks to sophisticated microwave technologies and monopulse auto-tracking techniques. For the satellite communication evolution, GEO capabilities and mega constellations such as SpaceX, Starlink, OneWeb, Kuiper are redefining strategies and approaches to new services, applications, and markets. SpaceX Starlink is currently dominant and destructive, with B2B and B2C subscription price steadily decreasing. Starlink is currently comparable to fixed wireless access over radio link or over 5G and surpassed VDSL2 fiber to the curb. Infrastructure and services are moving forward as a bulldozer, and in addition to download performance exceeding 200 megabits per second and latencies compatible with real-time service, the network is preparing for direct-to-cell services for LTE terminals. In a kind of LTE non-terrestrial network, with satellites configured as E-Node-B in regenerative mode for test voice data IoT services. So while theories are being discussed in the slides, Starlink is consolidating an all-encompassing worldwide network that will include satellite internet and IoT non-terrestrial network. For satellite communication, in parallel continues the deployment of very high, extremely high throughput satellites that are expected to play a key role as enablers of the upcoming 6G networks with throughput performance of hundreds of gigabits per second. Just to mention the historical evolution of compact satellite terminals for B2B P2C, 15 years ago, Eutelsat two-way in Ka band over GEO was decisive for digital device scenarios as fixed wireless access networks did not yet exist. The subsequent revolution in electronically steered phased array antennas began with terminals over GEO, expensivest, currently over LEO, and includes technologies already used in avionics and the military. Ground segment single dual band antennas with ESPA technology are already on the market, and this evolution is reinforcing a strategy of terrestrial satellite complementarity. As far as use cases are concerned, it is worth mentioning the possible use for train-to-ground communication in railways, where the 5G LEO hybrid model is currently considered the best. Some specialized solution integrators in coordination with railways operators are currently testing this hybrid model, including the stable coverage on the railway line, the on-the-move speeds and latencies, load balancing, traffic capacity requirements, sustainable business models. Another communication on the move POS use case is LEO satellite integration to Wi-Fi extension in vehicles for mobile office, hotspot, internet, IoT, video satellite news gathering, telemedicine, utilities, plants, and pipelines. Faced with the current dominance of SpaceX, the European positioning is suffering a certain pressure due to the fact that some national space laws, such as the Italian one, provide for a reserve of transmission capacity through satellite communication in the event of a blackout of terrestrial Ethernet network, reinforced by the delays in implementing broadband coverage in white and green areas, with resistance from terrestrial operators, and the criticality of entrusting strategic infrastructure to a non-European operator. Starlink is currently highly competitive with Eutelsat OneWeb, which is more IoT-oriented, and foresees a more expensive terminal than Starlink, while the European Internet via satellite Iris2 networks is being delayed. Starlink's dominance is also extending into the space launchers arena, again due to competitive advantages and delays in program implementation by the main European players. Satellite Earth observation is in booming for quality, accessibility, affordability of satellite data, and the continuous evolution of passive-active payload remote sensing with spectral, spatial, temporal, radiometric resolutions increasingly higher. Apart from the traditional defense intelligence segment that remains dominant, along with initial segments such as environment, climate, geology, topography, pollution, oceans and coastal water, segmentation in new sectors such as finance, insurance, construction are being consolidated. The satellite Earth observation market includes the infrastructure evolution of both LEO remote sensing satellites and ground segment including tri-band antennas, high-capacity receivers, demodulators with tens of gigabits per second, and the whole midstream downstream value chain. Analyst data offers overview of revenues development both in the value chain and the market segmentations, while processes are also evolving to make it easier for small companies to obtain satellite data and images. With regard to satellite IoT, a number of networks and providers with small LEO constellations on nanosatellites already offer the service with various service plans. For satellite IoT single or dual mode satellite/terrestrial networks, the comparisons between LoRa, which is a proprietary wireless modulation, and LoRaWAN, which is a media access control layer protocol built on top of LoRa modulation, and the 5G narrowband IoT technology have to consider several aspects that in any case meet the IoT needs. Thank you, Paul. Thank you all. You can contact me for any further information. Ciao.